Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenganjero. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man is looking for a woman, and when we have a woman, the woman is looking for a man. Today we are having a man, and I'll be telling you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches, and the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost if you're new to the show. Subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contact of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Jenganjero. So you can follow Jenganjero on Facebook and you'll be getting these updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is Kenneth. I had preempted his story on my Facebook page at Jenganjero. I had told people that he is appearing because he is single and searching. At the age of 51, you could be asking yourself, why is he single? What kind of a woman is he looking for? And things like that. Number one, Kenneth is widowed at the age of 51. He was widowed since 2015, and it's been 10 years of waiting. He had made a promise with himself, a covenant kind of, wanted his children to grow up to go to the best schools, and when they become young adults, it was about time that he would make this decision. So as we speak, the last born is in college, university, if you may, and that is something he wanted to achieve before engaging in another relationship. So since 2010, 2015, that is, he has been single. He has learned so much about parenting, loving children, being together with them, being there for them. And he is also a very good cook because courtesy demands that when you're left being the only parent and you don't want to engage another parent before the children are all grown, you have to learn all those things and become a mother and a father at the same time. So Mr. Kenneth, his other name is Ngugi. So he's a Kikuyu man from Kiambu County, from Githunguri constituency, is a part of Kiambu County, but he works and lives in Nairobi. He is a businessman, he's a salesman, and I'll be telling you what he does for a living and things like that. You see, some of these profiles are very important because they help you to guide a discussion, an inward discussion with yourself. And you call yourself for a meeting, and maybe you can be able to make a decision on whether you'll be interested in the guest or not. So he's widowed, a father of three boys, so all his children are sons. And therefore, if there's a woman out there who happens to have children and amongst them a girl, he will be happy because he has always wanted to be a father of a girl. And because age has caught up with him, it is not that he cannot get another child, but he does not want to go back to the diapers. He doesn't want to go to the napkins again because at the age of 51, now you see, if you give a child like 18 years, by the time maybe or 17, by the time they are clearing high school, it means that he will be somewhere around 69 or even 70 years. So it will be a long way for him, and he doesn't want to raise another small child when he is very old. So he's looking for somebody between the ages of 45 or from the ages of 40, 45, maximum 48. The lady should not be older than him, and that is something he considers because he believes that he should be older and better than the woman. At the same time, he lives with his family in Nairobi West. So he was born and raised in Kiambu County. He also has a home there, but he is now home, which also happened to be the matrimonial home with the late wife, is in Nairobi West. They have been together with the children for 10 years. They have grown a very strong bond and they have become more friends than relatives. So if that person is coming, she should be very friendly and she should understand that those kind of strict rules, those kind of regulations, those kind of, those kind of boundaries that you enhance to be so brutal do not exist in their homes. So that woman must be a good cook because over time he has learned to become a very good cook. You see, in the contemporary African society, the man is the provider and the woman takes the role of a mother because it is naturally so. So in most cases, unless maybe you're trying to show some of the nitty-gritties and lovey-doveys to your family, a man is not expected to cook as a duty unless he does not have a wife, and that is the case with Kenneth Ngoge. So he does not have a wife, and therefore he has been forced to be the chef of the family and has been cooking for the family ever since. Although the boys have been raised well, he says they have been raised well, they have been raised properly, they know how to cook, to take care of the home, and all that. So he can be proud to say that he has grown a very strong bond with his sons. At the same time, he wants somebody who is also business oriented because he is a salesman. A salesman is somebody who sells on behalf or on behalf of self. You can be selling on behalf of other people or on behalf of your own self. So they have a business where they bring into the country funds that are not known to be strong brands. For instance, if I ask you to name five strong brands that produce phones in Kenya, you are likely to name them very quickly because you have seen these phones time and again. If it is not with one person, at least with the media, and their presence on the media, online and on ground is very powerful. For instance, you can name a phone like Infinix, you can name a phone like Techno, you can name a phone like iPhone, Samsung, Huawei. All these phones are part of what makes a larger brand for phone in the phone industry. But he brings these kind of brands that are not well known. For instance, I don't know whether you've been able to see phones that resemble an iPhone, but they are not iPhones. When you look at them, they are less of what the original phone is. So they are also good phones, original in their own rights, but they are not as powerful brands as some of these phones. For instance, if you mention Samsung, everyone will associate themselves with Samsung because Samsung is a very strong brand. Okay, those brands are very strong. So the kind of phones they bring from Taiwan, China, and other parts of the world are phones that are not having a wide recognition, but they also have an audience because there are people who cannot be able to afford expensive, strong brands. For instance, if you want to buy a phone like iPhone, let's say an iPhone like 12, iPhone 12 Pro Max or 13 Pro Max, that phone will be a little bit cheaper as compared to the 14 Pro Max. However, he will not now come with the 11 or the 10 Pro Max. He will come with a phone that resembles an iPhone, a phone that is made in the factory but has been given a different name. It might not be having a similar kind of speed, it might not be having the same resolutions for camera, the lenses are different, but the phone will actually do the same functions. It will be able to perform the same functions with similar phones. And if it's camera, if you want a phone for camera, they are able to produce some nice camera shots. If it's about maybe space and all that, the phones can also deliver. But people who have low budgets for phones like iPhone can also contact people like him so that these phones can also be part of their lifestyles. And don't forget, some of these phones are very cheap because when you're buying a phone up to 40,000, 50,000 and above, you can get the same phone at 8,000, 9,000, 7,000, almost the same phone. But I don't know about guarantee, I don't know about warranties. I cannot tell because I've not used such a phone, but I see them all over. Okay, maybe you have a high school kid and you don't have a very big budget like 20,000 plus to buy them a good phone, but you can also get phones like them. I don't want to mention those brands because I have painted them in a manner that makes them look like they are at least inferior as compared to the strong brands. But that is what it is. It is what it is. That is what he does. If you ask him what he does for a living, he's in Nairobi West, and he believes that any person from a different tribe, because people who are making a majority of his customers don't necessarily come from his Kikuyu tribe, and so you don't have to be a Kikuyu to become his wife. And his wife got a heart attack. I asked him what happened. I understand that when people say they are widowed, it sounds sometimes insensitive to ask them what happened, but it's a very important question. You could ask because who knows, maybe it is the person who maimed the person. It is always important to know what happened. So it was a heart attack, well documented, well known. The family members accepted, and in fact, she got unwell while she was at hospital because she was struggling with something very cause veins or something. But all in all, he is widowed, and that is his story. If you're there between the ages of 40 all the way 45, 48 maximum, you have girls and you don't mind having boys as a mother, then he doesn't have a problem with you. And we're wishing him well. We hope that he gets a good match. Good thing about posting some of these people is that even before we post their lines, before we post their contact, there are people who have already spoken so well about them. And you see, these people, before they approach us, they're also following us on social media. So they see your comments. That's why I ask people consistently be nice. Okay, you might ruin the chances of getting a very good candidate because maybe you can only see negativity, you're complaining all the time. So please, I hope he gets a good match. He asked us to share his email address because he's a busy man and he doesn't want people to be calling him all the time, and he doesn't want to receive calls that he cannot even be able to respond. So if you're there, you're single and searching, and you feel like this one would be an ideal match, I hope that you will see his contacts on my Facebook page at Jenganjero on the stories section. People ask, where do you post these contacts? I've said on the stories section. That means they expire within 24 hours. This is a very big show, meaning every other time we post, people are likely to get those contacts immediately, and fast come, fast served. You know that. So we're wishing him well. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.